Hi, this is a Metaphysician's Journal, and I'm Anita Perez, and also known as Luminaria Star. This is February 2nd, 2015, and February 2nd is the 33rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 332 days left in 2015. Now, if this were a leap year, there would be 333 days left. So it's kind of a neat day for that reason. And also, before we go any further, I would like to wish everybody a very happy Imbolc. Now, I know that many of you have celebrated it already. Some folks celebrate it as early as January 31st. Some folks celebrate it on the 1st of February, but many die-hard traditionalists celebrate it on February 2nd. And that's the tradition that I originally came up in, so I celebrate it today. However, as a typical party animal, I would be just as happy to celebrate it continually for all 3 days. So celebrate it when you like, celebrate long and joyously. Now, it's one of the 4 Gaelic seasonal festivals, along with Beltane, Lughnasadh, and Samhain, which mark the quarters of the year. It's believed that the goddess Bride was Christianized and changed into Saint Brigid. Brigid was said to visit one's home at Imbolc, and to receive her blessings, people would make a bed for her to make her feel welcome and give her a place to rest from her travels. Since she was believed to be very fond of beer and cider, they would leave her oat bread and ale, and cider or milk, and a strip of cloth would be tied outside the door for her to bless. This was often referred to as bride's mantle. Brigid was also invoked to protect homes and livestock. She was said to be a great animal lover and a protector of women. She was also believed to be the patroness of poets, students, healers, cattle, dairymaids, midwives, fugitives and travelers, and children, especially those born out of wedlock. And until the late Middle Ages, the nuns of the Order of St. Brigid had unprecedented freedom, and wore beautiful, colorful garments unlike those of any other order. They typically wore their hair loose and flowing, and were guardians of an eternal flame that was kept continually burning for centuries. On her holy days, special feasts were held, and holy wells were visited. Visitors to these holy wells would pray for health while walking sunwise or Diosel, sometimes pronounced Jessel, around the wellhead. It was also a time for fire and purification, which were important parts of the festival. The lighting of candles and fires represented the return of warmth and the increasing power of the sun over the coming months. A spring cleaning was also customary. Offerings were made to earth and sea. The offering could be milk poured into the ground, or porridge poured into the water as a libation. Celebrations often involved hearth fires, as said before, special foods, divination or watching for omens, candles, and a bonfire if weather permitted, which strengthens the correspondence to the Christian holiday Candlemas, or the feast day of Mary of the Candles, which is traditionally celebrated on February 2nd. Now, some traditions consider it distinct from the previous feast day and say that Candlemas follows St. Brigid's Day, and others say that it's pretty much one and the same. It's also been argued that the timing of the festival was originally more fluid and based on seasonal changes. It's been associated with the onset of lambing season, which could vary by as much as 2 weeks before or after the start of February, and the feast originally commenced with the blooming of blackthorn. Personally, I think it's a great idea to extend the holiday for all 2 days. The date of Imbolc is thought to have been significant in Ireland since the Neolithic period. This is based on the alignment of some megalithic monuments. For example, at the mound of the hostages on the hill of Tara, the inner chamber is aligned with the rising sun on the dates of Imbolc and Samhain. It's intended to correspond with the earliest stirrings of spring and to mark the approximate halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. The word is thought to originate from the Old Irish Imbolc, which in modern Irish would be Imbolg, meaning in the belly, and it refers to the pregnancy of the ewes. Another possible origin is the Old Irish Imflog, which means to wash or cleanse oneself, referring to a ritual cleansing. And it's thought that the earliest derivation is a Proto-Indo-European root meaning both milk and cleansing. The 10th century Cormac's Glossary derives it from oimelc, which translates as ewe's milk. Modern pagans celebrate this day with bonfires or candles, figures of lambs, streamers hung from doors and windows, and the famous straw dollies and Bridget's crosses woven from straw. A list of suggested celebration foods would be dairy-based products, such as ice cream, cheese fondue, and possets, as well as beer, ale, cider, and oat bread. Vegan equivalents could be made with tofu, lemon, and flavored ices made with fresh fallen snow. Other suggested celebratory practices would be indulging in a nice long soak in a hot bath with a scented bath milk. If you go to my fan page on Facebook, or to my board on Pinterest, you will find modern recipes for lemon posset, soothing bath milk, and maple-flavored snow, as well as a famous restaurant chain's version of cheese fondue. I'll post the links in the comments below. Now in the U.S., today is typically known as Groundhog's Day. In Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, the first Groundhog's Day was observed in 1887. According to folklore, if it's cloudy when a groundhog emerges from its burrow on this day, then spring will come early. If it's sunny, the groundhog will supposedly see its shadow and retreat back into its burrow, and the winter weather will persist for 6 more weeks. And in the coal mining country of central Pennsylvania, that groundhog is named after the town where Groundhog's Day was first observed, Punxsutawney Phil. Now, this being Maine, and the current weather report predicting that tomorrow we will get yet another foot of snow for the 3rd time this week, or in a week, I should say. I think winter's going to be here for a while still, but I have faith. Spring is coming. I have faith in nature. Spring always comes, sooner or later. So, let's party! Now on this day in history, a lot of things happened over time. In 1141 we had the Battle of Lincoln, in which King Stephen was defeated and captured by the allies of Empress Matilda, presenting her with the unfulfilled opportunity to become the first queen of medieval England. In 1536, Spaniard Pedro de Mendoza founded Buenos Aires, Argentina. In 1914, Charlie Chaplin's first film appearance Making a Living premiered. In 1882, James Joyce, the Irish author and poet, was born, and in 1922, Ulysses, by that author, James Joyce, was published on his 40th birthday. Happy birthday, James Joyce. In 1905, Ayn Rand, the Russian-American author and philosopher, was born. In 1923, James Dickey, the American poet and author, was born. In 1927, Stan Getz was born, the American jazz saxophonist. In 1937, this was the birthday of Tom Smothers, the American comedian, actor, and singer, the goofy one of the Smothers Brothers. In 1942, Graham Nash was born, the English-American singer, songwriter, and guitarist who played with the Hollies and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. In 1947, Farrah Fawcett was born, the American actress. In 1949, Brent Spiner, the American actor, was born, best known for his role as Data in Star Trek: The Next Generation. In 1963, Eva Cassidy, the American singer and guitarist known as the Songbird, was born. In 1966, Robert DeLeo, American bass player, songwriter, and producer, known for his work with the Stone Temple Pilots, Army of Anyone, and Talk Show. Now, a couple of notable people died on this day also. In 1970, Bertrand Russell, the English mathematician and philosopher, died. He was also a Nobel Prize laureate. And in 1979, Sid Vicious, the English singer and bass player, known for his work with the Sex Pistols, met his untimely end. And that concludes this edition of A Metaphysician's Journal. I wish you a very happy Imbolc, a very cloudy Groundhog's Day, and have faith. Spring is coming eventually. Bye-bye, and blessed be.